Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. This video is going to be us talking about one of my favorite shows, which is Once Upon a Time. So Tess is going to be questioning us, me, Emily and Grace, who have all seen this show. She's going to be giving us a couple of questions which we're going to answer that kind of cover the whole series, and Emily is going to give you just a quick plot summary so you understand what's going on if you haven't watched the show before. Emily?
Thank you. So it's just going to be a plot summary for season 1 because you've got to watch season 1 before you watch the others. There's order and everything. So, for Emma Swan, life has been anything but a happy ending. On the night of her 28th birthday, Emma is reunited with Henry, the son she gave up for adoption 10 years ago, who takes her to Storybrooke. Henry is in desperate need of Emma's help because he believes from reading a book of fairy tales that she is the daughter of Snow White and Prince Charming, who sent her away from the enchanted forest to be protected from a curse that was enacted by the evil queen. Emma initially refuses to believe a word of Henry's story, but soon finds that there is more to Storybrooke than it seems, because in Storybrooke, all the classic characters we know are frozen in time, with no memories of their former selves, except for the evil queen, also known as Regina Mills, who is the mayor of Storybrooke and Henry's adoptive mother. It is now up to Emma to accept her destiny, defeat the evil queen, and save Storybrooke. Over to Ellie.
So I guess, thank you very much. I guess you found that interesting. Go watch if you haven't, because I've watched it like 7, going to be 8 times because I'm watching it with my flatmates very soon. And I do recommend it because it's a great show. So yes, if you haven't watched it, please go watch. And I guess, Tess, if you'd like to ask us some questions.
First question, Ellie.
Didn't like that.
Why did you start watching Once Upon a Time, and what attracted you to it?
Okay, so I guess first of all, the fact that it's like based off Disney characters and it's kind of like a twisted tale, so it was quite interesting. But I think like I watched a first couple of episodes. I don't know where I watched it, maybe on the TV or something. And then later on, my friend introduced it to me. And so I watched it because she reintroduced it, I guess. And then I watched it like 7 times after that because I liked it so much. That was good.
And Grace?
Well, first of all, Emily kind of made me try to watch it. It was part of our TV show list.
Forced you.
But
You're sending the wrong message out, Grace.
okay. But I think what really drew me is how it blends in different fairy tales together. It's twists and turns, very clever, and how it links to the modern world. I thought it was a great idea to bring all this sort of like Disney characters all together and then get them into the modern life. And it was really entertaining and fascinating to watch.
I simply just started watching it because on YouTube there was like the whole episode was on there for the first episode, so I put it on because I had nothing else to watch, and it was actually really good. So I was like, okay, I gotta watch the second one and the third one and everything. And then like I was sitting next to Ellie and Ari, and I was just telling her about it, and she was like, oh yeah, you should watch it. And then ever since then, we literally watched the whole show together. I feel like, I mean, some of it I watched by myself, but yeah. So
More or less.
What attracted me though, I don't know. I think it's just the fact that I'm always into this fairy tale sort of stuff. So it's sort of
it's different, I guess. It's not something I'd really seen happen before. So it was nice to have change.
Interesting. Who is your favourite character?
I love Regina. I love Hook. And I know Emily's gonna be like, Regina, Hook. Don't know. Maybe those 2 is my main ones. Maybe Rumpelstiltskin in there as well. I don't know, that's hard. But those 2 are definitely like top tier of who I can think of at the moment, I guess.
Grace?
My favorites would definitely be Emma. I think she's a really great character to follow, and like she's like everyone's like new kind of hero, and she's really admiring. And I also, my second one would be like Hook, not because he's dashing, but because he's really cunning, funny, and
Last but not least, Emily?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everybody already knows Regina. Well, when I say everybody, I mean Ellie and Grace.
Yeah, I don't know.
'Cause- yeah, Regina and Rumpel. I don't know, these two villains. You know, for every story, you've got to have someone bad, you've got to have someone good, right? For these type of stuff, like Marvel shows, movies, Disney stuff. Like you've always got to have someone good, someone bad, really. So I don't know. I've always just really liked villains. Sounds
Yeah,
weird.
they play it
Think about
really
it.
well, and their
Yeah.
character
They do,
development
yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah,
So
and like literally just from I've seen her audition video. Regina's Lana Parrilla. I can't remember her name, but
don't do names.
and and it was so good. I was like, whoa. I'm so glad they picked
She
her
was made
because
to be
amazing. Yeah. And so was Rumpel as well. Like,
hmm
oh yeah, Rumpel
I
was
know.
really good.
yeah.
Who is your least favorite character and why?
Okay, so please don't hate me
I
for this.
don't know where this
The
is
one
going.
thing I just don't like about these characters, and the one thing that really annoys me is just Regina and Rumple. It's not. It's just I love them as villains. It's just when they try to be good, I feel like what they did in the past is just forgotten so quickly. I mean, they murdered a lot of people, and they just thought, you know what, they turned good. They did a good deed. Let's be friends now. I'm like, no. I mean, Regina killed the huntsman Graham, who she didn't take responsibility for, or no one actually talked about it. And I thought that is such a horrible thing to do to a character, and yet she gets away with it. She gets away with everything, and Rumble as well. I mean, that's of course that's a villain. That's what they do. They try to get away with everything. But that's just the one thing that annoys me when I feel like they don't actually own up to what they did in the past. And they may say they say they're sorry, but I feel like they don't actually own it personally to those who they affected badly. So that's what annoys me the most. I love the characters, but I also dislike how it's kind of written in the story.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I feel like everybody can guess. I mean, Ellie and Grace already hinted at it. I don't like Hook. I am one of those people who don't like Hook. I don't know why. He just annoys me. I just don't see like what's so great about him. The whole Emma and him relationship is disgusting as well. And yeah, no, I feel like he shouldn't have been one of the main characters. Yeah, no.
Okay, that's
we'll
a
have
bit
this
too
discussion
far.
another time.
That's a
We'll
bit
have
too
this
far.
Discussion another time. It's fine. I want to say it'll probably be one of the like smaller characters that are just kind of there and annoying. Like Ingrid. Ingrid was annoying. You know,
No.
Oh, the blue
the
fairy.
one. No, she's the one that like tried to the ice cream shop lady.
Oh,
She really
you mean
annoyed
like
me.
Emma's like foster mum in the past?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
She really annoyed me.
Yeah, she kind of did as well.
I don't know why, but for some reason I want to say Aurora annoyed me.
Hmm.
Couldn't tell you why, but she just did. It's just
I
one of those
gotta-
characters where I'm like, oh, go away.
Yeah, I gotta admit, can I just say one thing? Belle did slightly annoy me in the early seasons. Like, she always says she sees a good in Rumpel, and while that's good of her, I just feel like she's always looked past all the bad deeds he's done as well. And I feel like in mid, she actually stands up for herself and not kind of get treated aside. So that was kind of
That's
annoying.
fair. That is fair.
Okay, so the next question is quite similar. Did any of the characters make you angry and why?
Agree. I guess kind of just like the small characters again. It just really annoyed me. Just like random ones that are just there and just causing problems for no reason. Who else? I feel like Regina in the first season. I don't know why, but just in the first season, she just angered me. But other than that, she was great. I do love her.
Me, Regina, Rumpel, they angered me. I love them, but I just get annoyed. That's all. That they don't kind of owe up to all the things they've done in the past. So,
For me,
On Emily, her feelings again.
I mean,
I'm not gonna repeat Hook because I've already made that clear. But there was this part about Snow White and Prince Charming. I can't remember which season. It was a season where it was a Snow Queen. It was just sort of like they kind of didn't really understand Emma, and they were sort of drifting away from her, and it was too much about their son, which I understand. But at the same time, like, she's your daughter.
Mhm.
Sort of like they were like, oh, how could you? That was it, because she did something to her dad, and then it was like, how could you, Emma? And then I was like,
Pretty
whoa,
sure it was like an accident as well.
it was an accident as well, and I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, no. So they sometimes just
Very different reactions to what you would expect them to have. Not very charming, to say the least.
Oh, you know who really made me piss off? It was the Wicked Witch of the West. Or was it Zelda?
Selena.
Oh,
Selena, yeah. When she disguised herself as Marion, and
I hated that.
that was probably the
That was
worst.
the worst thing they
I
did.
hated that.
The
Yeah.
worst thing they did.
That just
The
proves
relationships in this show are very intertwined
Disgusting.
and complicated.
Yeah, that just
and
proves to the audience how dark these writers can get.
yeah,
Oh,
and it's still a kid's show.
yeah. If you count like the whole
Still a
death,
kid's show.
yeah. If you count ripping hearts out and just crushing them, yeah, that's perfect for a kid's show.
Pretty up there in the list, you know. Expect nothing less.
If you were to be a character from Once Upon a Time, who would you be?
I want to say Regina, because she's very, very cool. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, she's got her cool powers as well, and everything kind of like chills and works out in the end. So yeah, with Regina, she has a lot of character development. She gets to play villain as well, which is fun. So.
I would go with Emma. Like, she's got cool powers as well, and it's kind of like a modern woman who suddenly appears having adventures in enchanted forest and all that. And I think that's kind of like something that would be pretty cool if it happened in real life.
Yeah, I've got to completely agree with Addie. Regina.
God, why are you all siding with the villains?
Because it'd be so
Regina's
cool to play
awesome.
a villain. And Regina's just really good as well. Yeah.
She's cool. No offense.
She changes character development. We love that.
Who caused the most amount of harm to others, Rumpel or Regina?
Rumpel, he was around longer. He had more time to cause more trouble. And he was the dark one for a very, very long time. So I guess he.
Yeah, I say Rumpel as well.
And like, while Regina did try to change, and she did change for the most part, the whole series, Rumpel was very here and there.
Yeah.
Emily?
But I don't know, because Rumpel is just like, he manipulates everybody, and yeah. But then Regina, she's the one who cast the curse. Like, that was bad.
Mhm.
I don't know. I guess Rumpel though, because I think majority of the time he plays in the show, he plays as a villain.
Yeah.
So I guess it'd have to be him.
And which character did you really sympathize with?
I feel like majority of my answers have been Regina.
Let's go with Regina again.
Most likely Regina, yes. Or maybe Zelina as well. I feel like Zelina had a lot going on. And then Rumple's End. All of them were so bad. I'm just gonna go with Regina for the sake of it being Regina. But they all had very much attachment to sympathize with.
I can't be completely honest. I don't sympathize with those people you spoke about. I just sympathize with. No,
Those
no,
people.
I do. Hold on. I get Regina, like she lost her loved one, but then she blames a child who was manipulated, who was kind of like taught. I mean, she was a child. I mean, she didn't know anything to her mother, so can't really
That's
blame
true.
someone. And yeah, Regina kills entire people just because a child told her mum and then killed her fiance. But still, Rumple, I mean, he just annoys me. I just more
Fair.
sympathize with yeah, I don't know who I sympathize with actually.
Okay,
I guess
fair
I'm
enough. Yeah, Rumple and Regina for sure. And for me, I know Ellie and Grace didn't really like Ingrid, but I really liked Ingrid, so I really sympathized with her as well.
I do feel sympathy for her, but she played her character so well that it annoyed me. That's
Because she had it all wrong.
clearly.
Yeah, I mean that's literally with everybody, but yeah, I feel like
I do actually
such
I
a
do actually
horrible ending
sympathize
for
with
her.
sorry.
No, carry on.
Sorry, I do actually sympathize with Belle. I just feel like she's more of this, like she tries to stand up and then she feels like she's being pushed to the side by Rumple. She's even kind of been used by Rumple many times without knowing. And
Yeah, their relationship wasn't the healthiest thing out there.
I know, and she still fell for it. I mean, come on, girl, get a life.
Fair. Okay. Deep.
Okay, next question. Was there a character who died or didn't get enough screen time and that you wanted to see more of?
I feel like Robin Hood could have added a lot of stuff to Regina's side if he hadn't been like killed off. Who else was there? Ruby was really cool. I did want more screen time for her. Maybe Pinocchio as well, just like him kind of like growing up on Earth and seeing how like that happened. The Mad Hatter, he was very cool. I did like him. Just more of like the smaller characters. I feel like obviously the whole storyline is Emma and that, but it was very focused on like Prince Charming and Snow White, and I get that that is like Emma's beginning and everything, and how like the whole thing with Regina started, but it would have been nice just to have like a couple more side episodes of just seeing smaller character stories and stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like we get introduced with a lot of great characters in season 1 and then they all kind of like disappear in the next few seasons.
Yes, you
I
reminded
want-
me of the sheriff
yeah.
as well.
Yeah. No, I was thinking, I thought I want to see a bit more of Mulan because we'll see her like in season 2. Then we see more of her in like season 5, I think. And I felt like that's such a shame. We were getting somewhere with her and Aurora, and then she sort of disappeared. And I like the
Yeah.
same with like Ruby and Dorothy. I mean, what happened to them? Do they get happily ever after? And Graham, I feel like his death was tragic, and I feel like no one is looking at it in a more in a more empathetic way. Like he died tragically, and still, like Emma
No
didn't
one
know
was
how.
talked about. Like,
Exactly.
he died and then that was it. I wanted more
Exactly.
character
He died.
development.
That's it. Next character to kill or
Yeah.
die or something. I mean, it was. I mean, we were. I was actually getting to like him, and then.
Yeah, no, I did like him.
For me, it would have to be Ingrid, Snow Queen. I don't know. It wasn't even a whole season. She was in there for. It was just I think for half of the season, but I really would have wanted to see a bit more of her.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
fair.
What was your favorite moment or episode from the whole show?
There's so many. When they were in the underworld, that was cool, kind of seeing a different perspective. Them in Neverland was really cool. When Regina was crowned, I guess, was a nice kind of like ending, and then like seeing everyone kind of like happy at the end was really nice. And just kind of maybe the first episode that kind of like starts everything off. You know, just her like in her kitchen, like blowing out her candle, and then like the knock at the door. That scene is just very specific in my head because I guess it kind of like started off everything.
Whole journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine one would be Hook's and Emma's dance. Like when they come back in time, she's wearing that lovely red dress. I just think that's so romantic, so poetic. It was just really like in a very historical time, but it was really glamorous. Their wedding, my heart melt at that scene. It was really gorgeous. And what else? Oh yeah, and when Rumpel and Belle spend like their entire life like in a blink of an eye in season 7. I mean, we watched them like grow up together, and when like Rumpel was there when Belle died, I cried because it was so sad.
Yes, it's same Grace. Yeah, they're happy ever after, and then the fact that Rumpel gets to be with Belle in the end, in the afterlife. So that was nice.
Yeah. And the whole up thing was very cute as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I did like how they brought that into that. Obviously not the ending of the up thing, but just like the whole thing in general.
And then I guess season 1, Emma breaking the curse with True Love's kiss, saving Henry and everything. I mean, that literally
And then just
started
the
it all
whoosh
off.
of
Really.
magic.
Yeah.
I loved it so much.
And then the one scene I always seem to watch is the part where Ingrid sacrifices herself to save everyone. I don't know. Ingrid just really stood out to me. I don't know why. Seems to just be me, but you know. But yeah, and then she gets reunited with her sisters. Yeah. I don't know. These happy ever afters are just, you know, they're what make the show good. That's what we need.
Everyone kind of gets them, whether they were like good or bad.
What was your favorite season?
God, they're all a blur to me because I watched them so quickly. I don't know what season I'm on. Maybe I really liked Neverland. Neverland was really cool. What was season 2?
Season 2 was when Regina's mum Cora came in, and Hook was introduced as well, and then Belfire was introduced with his fiance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe Neverland season. Like
So
I'm going
season
into it.
3, like the first part.
Yeah, maybe. So that's standing out to be the most at the moment, so I'm gonna go with that for now.
Right.
I would say my favorite season is gonna be season 1. Like first is always the best. I think it's just great. We get to know the characters. We get to kind of understand what they do, why they do things, and we see like how each episode works, from changing from the past to the present. It was really great, and yeah, I think season 1 just starts off my interest in the entire show.
Yeah, for me as well. It's the first one as well. Like it was just a great first season. I mean, compared to tons of shows as well, I think it was one that really pulled me into it. And it's the only one I can watch again. Like I've tried to watch Once Upon a Time again, but I can't get past season 1. So, I mean, I think it just goes to show that season 1's just really good.
Okay, next question is, what was the worst season and what would you have done to change it?
The last season, I guess. I feel like I do like the concept that they had, but I feel like there was still a lot missing, and the main characters that we had in the last season, we don't know what happened to them, where they went. Like, it never really gave us an explanation. And I liked the whole idea, but they just didn't come across it that well. Like, I feel like if they were going to do that, then it had to, like, I don't know, you had to have some kind of connection with more of the old characters and just portray it in a better way, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely last season. I say don't do the grown-up Henry storyline. I think do that for like a spin-off or something. But
Yeah.
I think if you're gonna do like a similar thing to like season 1, okay. But I feel like the final battle was quite weak. I feel like there should have been like a very alternate like final battle against like all evil. Like Hades would have been a good final battle, like all evil god or something. Just I feel like they just literally like took a drop and it didn't went really well. So yeah, I just missed the whole original characters and all that, especially Emma. She was a main star for like 6 seasons and then she just suddenly disappeared in season
Without
1.
a trace. Like,
Exactly. And a whole kind of like different like 2 Cinderellas, that was really confusing for me. So I think don't do that and just stick in the original timeline would have been better for everyone.
It felt very forced and that they were just trying to carry on the show when it really just didn't need to carry on.
it gave us
It just wasn't necessary. Yeah, it should have just stopped at season 6. And like you said, if they were going to do a season 7, it should have just carried on, not with sort of like a new story idea and stuff. Like, it kind of just
That was definitely
went off
spin-off.
Yeah.
If they wanted to do a new season, it had to be connected. It was too far disconnected.
I mean, I still think as a spin-off, I wouldn't have liked it, but that's.
But like, at least then you couldn't like compare it,
Yeah, true.
What did you like about the show?
Everything. The characters, the character development, the fact that I hadn't really seen anything like it before, kind of seeing like fairy tales in a modern environment with still twisted backstories and just a very big development on even like small characters, and seeing how every character like connected in a certain way. It's just very cool concept, very entertaining, thrilling, very lots of twists and turns that you're not expecting. Good show.
Yeah, I really agree. I like it's very unique when it blends all the reality and the fantasy together. I like how it follows the fairy tales correctly but they twist it a bit, which was it brings their characters in a different perspective. I like the story arc and the characters, like how their journey changes throughout each season. From, like you said, Regina was bad and then she becomes like the good queen in the end. And yeah, I am like what Ellie says, it's a very unique and a very very special show that people should actually watch.
Yeah, completely agree with you too. And I like the fact that there was like that transition between the Enchanted Forest and Storybrooke. I like that sort of thing. That was really good.
And what did you not like about the show?
I guess maybe like all the relationship ties, it can get very complicated and a little bit gross at some point when you look into it too much. But I guess if you're not really like looking into it too much and just kind of watching it, it's not too bad. But when you start looking into it, it's very much crosshairs, things shouldn't be happening, that shouldn't be happening,
Have you seen the table of how every single character is connected?
I don't want to know.
No, but it's like Regina is not only Henry's adopted mother, she's also like Henry's step great grandmother
Yeah,
as well.
it's weird.
So many.
It's weird.
So, I mean, I get there has to be some relationships between one another, but it's just so confusing.
There's relationships and then like friendships and stuff. They didn't have to like take it into a different actual relationship, romantic level.
But
they
the
could have
one,
made them connect otherwise.
yeah, but the one thing I really dislike was season 7.
Yeah, the relationships. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's what really put me off Hook. The fact that he's with Emma and then sort of like Henry's stepdad, and he was sort of like he's a step grandfather because he was in a relationship with like it's
Wait, who's this?
disgusting. Hook.
Step grandfather.
Yeah, because he was dating Rumpelstiltskin's wife.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And Henry's dad is Rumpelstiltskin's son.
Hey. Yeah, it was it's disgusting. And the fact that they gave that Selena slept with Robin and that whole that was disgusting. And then she had a daughter, and then the thing that Regina couldn't have a daughter, that was just son.
Yeah, that was a bit
horrible. But yeah, I mean, honestly, just to be honest, it just felt too long. It felt like they just wanted to keep it going, and it just got boring. That the more they kept trying to keep it going, it just got boring and easy to lose interest in it.
Do you feel like anything was left unresolved or not answered?
I guess a lot of the side tales that they start to introduce and then just kind of leave, like the whole Mulan thing, like the very last season about all the characters that we knew before. What happened to them? Where did they go? What's going on? Like, there's trying to develop new characters and then kind of leaving them. It's just didn't quite hit the spot, but
Oh, I feel like there's been a lot of plot holes that haven't been covered. Like one example is that when Regina created a storybook, and for over years no one has aged, but when Henry was in school, he must have aged, so he must have suspected that no one was aging through his time. So how does that work and all that?
I guess kids as well wouldn't be aging, so it'd be weird that the kids weren't growing up, but Henry was. But I guess that's just kind of like the magic of it. You can't really take it into like complete.
And another thing is that well, like for Graham as well, no one actually questions about his death like after he died, so that was really annoying. And like also there was something about the rules about magic. Like one book keeps saying magic always comes with a price, but like who makes the rules about magic? Like if they come with a price or not? I mean, does he does, or does other people before him like choose like what magic comes with what price? I mean, should have explained more about the magic background in a way. Now with all the sorcerer and the apprentice and everything.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Having more development there.
There's just so many things that needs to be covered, what should have been covered, and they haven't.
For me, I kind of just feel like Regina still didn't get a happy ever after. I don't know. And it's the fact that, I really wanted her to get with Robin, and, it's still sort of gross and everything. And then he like died and whatnot, and like, but I don't think.
Out of everyone, she deserved it the most.
Yeah.
What would you have wanted to see in the show if they were to revive the show? or what fairy tale story would you have liked to have been included in the show?
I feel like they covered majority of fairy tales there, but there's been a lot more added since obviously the show ended. So I guess kind of seeing like maybe Rhea or something in it would be very cool. Something like that, a very new princess. Moana, maybe? Was she in it before?
Well, no, there was a mention of
No.
no, she wasn't mentioned, but Maui's Hook was introduced.
Yeah, Maui's Hook was introduced, but there was
That would have been cool if they brought in that story.
just kind of like new, more up-to-date tales that we hadn't seen before in it, I guess, because they covered like all the old ones. Yeah.
For me, like personally, if they were gonna come back as a spin-off or something, because they did Enchanted Forest, I would kind of like to see like Enchanted Jungle, like from the Jungle Book and all that, because I thought that would be cool. And also, hold on, I don't think if you remember, but remember the Cinderella mouse called Gus, and he turned human in storybook. Just thinking, it would be cool to see the animals as humans as well, just to see how they will react. And also, I want to see a bit more like magical land. So I think Coco, like the Land of the Dead, would be like a different version. Would be
That's
really
right.
see. I mean, probably be freaky with the skeletons, but still,
But it would be very cool. Just kind of having all that new stuff added.
One story, like maybe Anastasia or Thumbelina. I know they're not Disney, but they're still fairy tales. So
yeah.
Well, no, it's not Anastasia, but still, I mean, she's a great princess. Like we would be really cool to see maybe a fantasy world of Russia or something.
I have no clue how to say it. Alalehu, I don't know, German. But it's a really good story. It's about a girl who runs away from home as her father wants to marry her after losing his wife, who's her mother as well. She runs away to...
Sorry.
I know it sounds weird, but it's actually really good. She runs away to another kingdom and then becomes a maid and serves the king. And yeah, I mean, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil the movie. But yeah, it's a German movie, but it's based on a Grimm story. But yeah, it's really good. And I would have liked to have seen that somewhere. Like, I don't know how they would incorporate it and whatnot, but that's for them to decide, right?
Yeah, we can suggest them.
But yeah, it's really good. Yeah, would recommend the movie.
Talking about recommendation, who would you recommend this to?
Anyone that likes fairy tales and just seeing like a twisted development on the ones you already know. Very much kind of Disney fans. And just anyone that's looking for a good TV show to watch.
Yeah, anyone who's interested in Disney, fantasy, sci-fi, or even a little bit of like thriller-ish, I think you would definitely get into this show.
Fairy tales are magic.
Yeah.
Simple. Are there any other shows that you think are similar or worth watching?
I don't think there's any similar to Once Upon a Time. Not that I can think of. Like, obviously, there's like a lot of like magic shows and stuff like that out there, but none that I found that is exactly like Once Upon a Time. Yeah.
I think Grimm is kind of like Once Upon a Time. I mean, it's all kind of like based on the Grimm fairy tales and all that. I think Ellie, you should watch it. It's really great.
Ooh, okay.
And you too, Tess, as well.
Even better than Once Upon a Time.
Oh yeah, I would. Oh yeah,
even better.
Yeah.
I mean, there are still stuff that I'm like, ew, but it's not as bad as Once Upon a Time.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely Grimm. I think that's the only kind of similarity. They're all unique in their own special way. So yeah.
I don't know. I'd say sort of the Magicians. I mean, it's not even remotely similar, but it's got that sort of magic thing. So yeah, but Grimm for sure. I think Grimm is definitely the closest thing you'll ever find to it. I mean, apart from the spin-off they did, which I refuse to watch. It seems weird.
What is it with spin-off
Like-
and
Grimm?
seasons?
No,
Grimm
not for
did-
Grimm. For Once Upon a Time, they did something like Once
Epic?
Upon in Wonderland or
Oh.
something.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, no.
And last question is, what 3 words would you use to describe this show?
A magical, twisted fairy tale experience. Ooh,
Well, that's a lot of words for 3 words. What about you, Grace?
I would definitely say magical. I would say quite dark, and I would say very unique.
Emily?
Yeah, I mean, magical as well. Redemption and Enchanted. Oh yeah, I would have liked to see Enchanted. They should have done Enchanted. That would have been good.
So guys, hope you enjoyed that. Please look at other videos on our channel, such as our Lucifer reaction video, on Marvel and Netflix TV show reaction, and all the reactions to the films and TV shows of MCU in 2021. If you like this, please make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And please leave a comment, tell us what you think, what your thoughts on Once Upon a Time, what was your favorite season, what was your favorite character, and what storyline would you like to have seen in the show. Until next time, bye.
Bye.